Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't actually played the original Final Fantasy VII. That's technically not true. I've played it for about an hour. I got through the bombing run mission and then sort of fell off of it. I've never been a big Final Fantasy fan, but I recognize the legacy that Final Fantasy VII has. And before this E3, I wasn't super on board with the remake, partially because I've just never been attached to the series, and also it just from what they showed, I was like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if you're like inputting combo commands and watching everything play out, or if you actually have a more direct influence over the gameplay. This demo definitely excited me. I think I'm definitely on board with the remake now. They did a really good job of demonstrating and showing off and describing how the game is actually played with every hit of the square button is a swing of the sword, and then this ATB system which pauses the game, which looks beautiful, by the way. This looks so cool, this slowdown effect. uh, but yeah, they just described all the systems that you pretty much need to know to get a grasp of the combat, and it was really clear, and it definitely made me more excited for the game. Like, I kind of have an understanding of how this game is going to be played and how it differs from the original, and just overall the aesthetic of everything. This transition from the perspective and the pre-rendered backgrounds to fully realized 3D environments. I mean, it's really exciting. It looks really good. The level of detail is really high. I like the color contrasts and the blue green hue of Midgar. I think that's really cool. Um, I still do think it's a little odd, maybe, that they're splitting up the games into multiple different. If they're splitting up Final Fantasy VII into multiple different games, I think that that's weird. And I understand that they say that they have enough content to make this its own standalone game, and more power to them, I guess. I guess it'll be. We'll have to wait and see how this pans out in the end. I know a lot of people associate Final Fantasy VII with Midgar, and I'm wondering how many people will buy this and not buy the other games. I guess it depends on how much they change. I mean, it seems like they're pretty faithful, but I've heard from multiple people and have seen stuff that they're changing and adding more stuff to the game, more context, more character uh, discoveries, I guess, and like more about the world of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how much they actually change and if they can get people to come around to getting the later games in this, I guess, small Final Fantasy VII series. But the character designs look really cool. I really like this boss demo that they had. It felt like it went on for a really long time, so I'm wondering if maybe that is a good or a bad thing. I mean, obviously, no one can complain with fun and interesting boss fights, but if every single boss fight is going to be like a really long time investment, I wonder how that will affect the pacing of the game and if people will actually like that. But I know that this is one of the early bosses because I did actually fight this one whenever I played the original, and I think this fight just looks awesome. And I like how there's multiple phases. I like how there's different, like, I like how Cloud and Barrett, they interact with each other. I like being able to discover the weaknesses and using the special moves and all this other stuff that they've been showing off. I just think they had a really strong showing for Final Fantasy VII, and arguably they should have probably promoted this over the Avengers as the draw for the Square Enix press conference, because I left that conference being way more excited for this game than the Avengers. And that's coming from someone that has like no attachment to Final Fantasy, like whatsoever. They had a great trailer at the end where they showed Tifa. I know that was a big deal. They had the mic on the audience turned on and everybody started freaking out at that. They showed more Sephiroth, more character interactions, more gameplay through that. And of course, they showed like collector's editions and everything, had the release date. So I definitely am way more excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake now than I was even a week ago. And yeah, I just think that they had a really strong showing with this, and I'm pretty much on board. Uh, I'm not sure if I'll be getting it at launch. There's probably going to be a lot of other stuff that comes out around then, but it's definitely on my watch list now, and it wasn't previously. So I think they did a really good job. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII Remake, that demo that they showed at E3 2019. If you enjoyed, leave a rating, comment, say why you're excited about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and maybe check out some of our other E3 videos. So, with that said, see you in the next one.